Audio.etc is proudly supported by Auto Sound and Security. But anyway, thanks for watching today's video. For all of you guys, I've got a box here for Judy. I'm thinking it's for Judy. I don't know what else I could have ordered that this would be, so I'm going to unbox it now and show you what I'm planning on doing. Let's open up this package. What's the best way to do this? I suppose I should say, when I say this is for Judy, I should clarify to anyone who may not know that my legacy is called Judy. So it's for my car. Just clarifying that for anyone who might be new to the channel or don't realise that I name my shit. Okay. What nice packaging so far. I'm actually going to wash my hands out of here. Is there a top and a bottom? I think this is the top. Boom. Ooh, nice packaging. Now, I got this from AliExpress. I've never ordered anything off AliExpress before. Boom. So, what we've got here, you can see there. Now you guys probably know what they are. So this is a front and rear parking sensor kit for my car. We do sell these here at Auto Sound, but none of the ones that we could get really did what I am wanting to try and achieve. And I'll explain that in a second. So, oh, I wonder what's in here. What the hell is this? It's wrapped in tape. How the hell do you open this? Yeah, always run the blade towards your wrist vein upwards. I'm joking, don't do that, it's a bad idea. Oh, it's just a remote. Okay, cool. So, oh yeah. So we have 8 sensors, 4 for the front, 4 for the rear. That's all the wiring for this. And then over here, that is a little infrared receiving device. We have an RCA cable. We have another RCA cable. We have the loom. And then in here, we have a camera. An infrared camera, I might add. And then in this one, we have another camera, a little flush mount one. And then a big, oh, it's made of metal, awesome. It's not made of plastic, I like it when things are made of metal. All the sensor inputs, the loom input, this thing, BB, I'm assuming that, no, that's not that thing. Don't know what BB is. I'll have to read the instructions. Which are where? Maybe they're under here? I think he was gonna email the instructions. So anyway, 2 cameras, 8 sensors, a box, a couple of RCA leads, a loom, and 2 hole saws. Nope, no instructions, okay. I wonder where that plugs in. Okay, that's the jack for where that thing plugs in, but I do not know what goes into the BI. That's different. So basically what I was wanting for my car, I knew I wanted to get some parking sensors just to make things overall easier. I don't have any trouble parking my car as it is. I can parallel park it, I can do everything, and it's a big vehicle, but this can't hurt, right? And it's fun to modify cars and do this sort of stuff. And it's gonna make it easier on Jess anytime that she drives my car, or when she eventually inherits it. Then, hey, why not, right? Didn't cost me too much. So this is an 8 sensor parking kit, but it also has 2 cameras, and you're probably wondering, why does it have cameras? This is one of those systems where it combines the cameras with the parking sensors. And yes, I already do have 2 cameras on my car. I have one on the back on my, boot, which shows up when I'm in reverse, and I have one on my wing mirror, which I can access through the stereo as camera 2 option. And what this is going to do is apply, the main thing I wanted it to be able to do was apply image over top of my, reversing camera screen that integrates with the sensors. It's really hard to explain, but as opposed to just, if I had bought a kit from here, what I would have is my current setup with my front left camera and my reverse camera, and then for the sensors I would have probably had one of those LED light bars and the chimes going beep 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 beep, like that sort of deal. I'm hoping this does that as well. This should beep, but so it would have been like that. But whereas this will actually put information on top of the reversing image screen and show me how far away things are. And they hunted around for ages because there's lots of cheap ones of these sorts of deals on eBay, but I really didn't like the graphics that they put on them. They seem really cheap and nasty. But this one, if it does what I'm hoping it does, it's hopefully going to be really cool, as long as the resolution and the image quality is nice. I was trying to find something as European and OEM European style as I possibly could. I love the way European cars like Audis and Volkswagens and that sort of thing have these really awesome parking systems where the lines turn with the wheel, and the like parking sense information shows up on the camera images, and even sometimes you can get like the really cool bird's eye view sort of deal, 360-degree camera array. I love that sort of stuff because you can basically just look at the screen and see exactly where your car is in relation to everything else. You know, you don't even need to use the mirrors. That's not what I'm trying to get at, but like, I just love the way that sort of all integrates. So that's why I've gone for this one and not a cheap eBay one. How much did this cost me? This cost me, where's my phone? So in case you didn't hear when I said before, I bought it off AliExpress. I've never bought anything off there before, but it's the only place I was able to find this sort of thing that I was after. As I say, all the ones on eBay and TradeMe and everywhere else on the internet, even the brands that I know, didn't do anything like what this one supposedly will do. So I paid, this is in US dollars, $97.20 plus some shipping, so all up $107.83 US. So I think, confirm goods received, confirm. So I think that was around about, it was somewhere between 120 and 160 New Zealand dollars, which for me, comparing the prices, you know, with what we can get things for trade here in New Zealand, this was still pretty much worth it. So I'm really keen to see how this works. Supposedly, from reading the description online, when you go in reverse, obviously it'll show the reverse image, and then when you come out of it, it'll display the front image for like a delayed period of time, so it like automatically switches back and forth between the front and the back. I'm gonna have to paint these obviously to go with my car. I could have got these in black, white or silver. I thought about getting the ones in silver because it's closer to what my car is, but I thought if those are just black ones that have been painted silver, I'd rather only have one coat of paint on the sensors when they go on my car. You know, like we actually have had situations in the past where we fitted our sensors and too many layers of paint, and it actually affected the ability for them to pick up objects. Am I happy with the quality of them? I'm hoping these are going to be just as good a quality as what we can get. In fact, I'm going to go and get one of ours and compare it. Where is the spare one? One thing that's worth noting is that all the ones on eBay and everywhere else that I looked didn't have a disconnect between the sensor and the loom. So these are our ones. They got this really nice like plug waterproof seal, you know, tighten up disconnect between the loom of the sensor and the actual sensor itself. These ones were the only ones that I saw online that actually had that. So they do, if I get one out, as you can see, here's one, here's the sensor. They do have that disconnect. And looking closely, I want to compare these. So these are our ones, these ones that have been painted gold for another job. I want to compare this one to our ones. It does have a rubber O-ring for waterproofness, but it just fell off. There we go, fixed it. Okay, so that is the connection. That is the connection of the ones that I've bought, and that is the connection of the ones that we sell. So to me, oh yeah, without a doubt, they're the exact same bloody things. What that says to me, I mean, you see this a lot. You think you have a product like, say, these are AVS, right? AVS is our alarm brand. They also do safety range. And then you find something else of a different brand. You look at the construction of them and you're like, they're the same. Down to the fact that, like down to the point where these little, it's going to be hard to see, but there's little grippy bits around here. And two of them are like diamond grid shape, and two of them are like flat line shape, and these are the exact same. Literally every single thing about it, even the rubber O-rings are exactly the same. Oh, and also the connection to the box. So this is my one, white connection thing, and this is the work one. It's the exact same. So I'm pretty well convinced, and I checked all this before I bought these, from looking at the pictures, as long as what I got in the box actually was what was in the pictures. So I'm pretty convinced these are going to be good quality, because I know that these are, I've done lots of these, I know they're good quality. So if these are manufactured in the same factory, also the sensors look exactly the same, like exactly the same as each other. They've got the same bevel and everything like that, and the rubber grips that hold them on. even the construction. Do they both? Yep, they both say up on the back. I'm dead sure these were manufactured in the same factory. And if these ones are good, then these ones are sure to be good. Because one thing I was really concerned about with buying sensors from somewhere where I didn't know what they were like was, are they actually going to be any good? Is the sensor quality going to be accurate? Is it going to, you know, pick things up? Because it's all well and good getting sensors, but if the actual sonar or radar coming out of it is shit, then what's the point? So long story short, I'm hoping these are going to be really good. The cameras that came with them, probably not going to use them. I might use one. I think I might add a front camera to my car, but I've already got a really good quality rear one and a wing mirror one that I'm happy with. So I probably won't use this one. I probably will use this little flush mount one though, somewhere on the front of my car. It'd be cool to have a front camera. And then I can have the front and rear camera going through this box, and then I've still got that button on my stereo which I can click for camera 2, which will be the wing mirror one still. I don't know, I haven't figured it all out yet, but yeah, that's what I've got. So I'm gonna try and mock these up and get it running and see if I can, I'm gonna see if I can get this thing running on the bench. Okay guys, so I got it all rigged up on the bench and I think I've got it working to its fullest extent. I'm just sort of playing with it and learning how it works. I've only got 2 of the parking sensors hooked up, one to the front, one to one of the front ones and one to one of the rear ones, and I've got the 2 supplied cameras hooked up, and I'm having to run it through this screen here, this old Volkswagen one, because for some reason I thought our little test screen did work for NTSC, but it's not working for NTSC, and this has an NTSC output, as I've now learned, which is interesting because the cameras individually are both PAL, they show up on the screen, but the output of the unit doesn't. So I had to plug it into here with the which we know is an NTSC screen, and it works. So just strange. It's not going to be a problem for me because my Pioneer can accept NTSC signals. It's just a bit funny that it bothers to convert PAL cameras into an NTSC output. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is set the camera down here and zoom in on the screen so you guys can see what is displaying, and I'll sort of explain what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to walk up to the front, one of the front sensors. At the moment it's a bit flickering because this the stereo head doesn't have a reverse trigger input, so I can't. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is if I just walk up to the sensor connected to the front parking sensor detector, so the first thing that starts happening is it starts beeping like that, and then once I get closer, comes up with this image. So you can see me there. Hey, there's the that's the front camera, and you can see that it's showing on the right hand side there. Since I've got this hooked to the front left, it's showing that like how far away I am from the sensor in front of the car there, and there's a little bit showing up in front on the rear sensor as well because that's pointed at the camera. You can see, and it shows the distance meters and everything like that, so that works. Now if I just walk away, goes away. So that's how the front ones work. They're basically just on all the time. They're auto detecting if there is something in front of the car that's too close. Firstly, it starts doing that chiming beep just to let you know there's something close, and then when there's something really close, it turns the image on for the camera. So now if I hook up the reverse trigger, as in like if I go into reverse, this is what will happen. It's going to come straight up with the rear camera, which is this one here, and the beeping is working for this sensor here. So if I just point that away, sorry, that's just the front one beeping because it's facing the wrong way. So now the beeping is only coming from the rear one, and it shows the distance, and at the same time it can show up the front ones as well with the distance. So it's very well integrated into itself. And then as soon as I come out of reverse, it'll stay on for a wee bit. As long as the sensors are picking anything up, it's gonna keep the screen on. And see if I'm standing in front of the front sensor here, and then I go into reverse, the image instantly changes, go out of reverse, straight back to the front camera, in, out. The only problem that I have with it is for right now, when I'm not in reverse and the front sensors aren't picking up anything, it doesn't have a video through. Because at the moment I can view my rear camera at any time by tapping on my stereo, but for some reason nothing shows up on the stereo. I don't know, I was probably meant to do it because the system is meant to go with just a little screen of some kind as opposed to, well, I suppose, I don't know, maybe it's thought about for stereos that don't have a anytime camera viewer, but that's the only issue I've got with the system, is that I'm not going to be able to see what is out behind my car at any time unless one of the sensors has been triggered, or if I'm in reverse. I might be able to do some kind of electrical workaround for that, but I'm not sure, because at the moment this stereo is pretty much simulating me having the car in drive but having touched the reverse button. So that's the only problem I've got with it. But so far I'm really liking it. Like, I like the colored light display. This is really nice resolution. I'm very happy with it. The quality of the image is good. The size is well done. I like that it's got the distance, you know, measured on the screen there, 0.5 and 0.3 there. Very, very good. Oh, and if you get too close, it does say stop, as opposed to like 0.6, 5, 4, 3, stop. So anything less than a foot and it tells you to stop. Not sure what because it's flickering at the moment. You guys, yeah, you can see that. Not sure what the flickering is. It might, like, I don't know, it's just residual leftover, I don't know. Oh, I just thought about how I could do my workaround. Yes, figured it out. I know how I'm gonna fix that issue that I've got, guys. This little doodacky. Sorry, it zoomed right in. So this, I'm just gonna turn the screen out so I can see what I'm talking about. So this here, squat down, because it's on a very short tripod. This actually came out of that Legacy right there. This actually came out of that. Just something that had been installed to deal with the fact that they had a multitude of different cameras and screens, well, screens sort of set up, and it's from the 90s and they didn't know how to do things well then. It had heaps. Anyway, this is a little video relay and it's really, really cool. I should have written on them what each one did, but anyway, let's just pretend I know what I'm talking about. The yellow one is video. Well, it doesn't have to be an in or an out. You can either have two camera ins and one output, so you can switch between cameras, or what I could do, which is what I'm going to use this for, is have one camera input and two switching outputs, and then this, you just put power across these two wires, red and black, and all it does is it connects and disconnects. Say this is the two that switch and this is the output. It's going to switch over from the camera going in here naturally out of that one. As soon as I put power on these wires, instead it's going to flow out of that one. What I'm going to be able to do with this is I will, wait, how am I going to get this to work? I had it in my head how it was going to work. I hate it when you get ideas and then it's just like gone. I'm going to have this, one of these plugs into the stereo, and the relay will switch between the output of that versus the output just of the camera. So all I need to do is split the video camera signal off the rear camera off only once. Yeah, and I can trigger it with the reverse output of that. Okay, I figured it out. I forgot how I was going to do it for a second. So this is, let's say this is the output. This is what's going to go into the camera input, the rear view camera input of my stereo, and then these are going to be my two inputs. One of them is going to go to the output of this module thing that I've got going on here, which does all the auto switching. But the problem with it is that it doesn't display up the rear camera. Like in the meantime, it displays nothing. And then the other input is going to go straight to just my rear camera. And all that means is I'm going to have to do one little Y split of my rear camera's video signal. It'll split into that unit and into the stereo. And then the way this relay is going to be triggered is by the trigger output of that module there. So naturally, when this relay is, when the circuit is open, the video signal from my camera is just going to flow through this and into my stereo so I can view it at any time. But as soon as a sensor or reverse trigger or anything goes off, the output of that is going to trigger this relay, which will switch the video signal over to the output of that module, which will also be receiving the video signal from my rear camera, and it will display it like that. Did you get that? Yeah. Complicated. That's how I do things. Gotta make it extra complicated. Okay. Unless I can find some kind of way, because this little infrared remote that it did come with allows you to kind of just turn the image on at any time. Unless I can use that in some kind of way. Like, See, if I just point the remote at the infrared receiver, oh, that turns it completely off, we want it on. Okay, so that's how I trigger it with the sensor. Now if I just push V1, okay, it displays up the rear camera. There's the B camera. Oh, there's you guys. But now the problem is, the only problem with that is that the trigger output from this module is on whenever it's like that, which means I can't hook it to the reverse. But I need that trigger output because otherwise the stereo's not going to know when to go into front camera mode. I'll figure it out. Anyway guys, long story short, that's the overly complicated parking system that I've bought for my car. So keep an eye on the channel. I'll be hopefully installing that sometime soon in the future. I do have to get a rattle can of paint to paint these the color of my car at some point, because there is a spray can of paint here which is very ultra similar to the paint on my car, and I've used it for a couple things. I spray painted my tow bar tongue thing, which made it look so much better, and I feel like there's something else that I might have painted that color, but I don't think it's quite bang on enough for me to do the sensors, because if it's just slightly darker or slightly more bluey, those things are going to stand out like a stick in the mud up on that big silver bumper. So anyway, that's what I got for my car. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Hope you're excited to see me install this stuff. I will try and put a link for that product in the description. If you're not subscribed already and you want to be notified when I upload, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the little notification bell, and then you'll get push notifications on your phone and everything when I upload. So thank you for watching today guys. Choose to be happy, and I will catch you in the next one. Kite Ano.